Welcome back to Investing Talk podcast. Today we're taking a closer look at Advanced Micro Devices, AMD. We had a listener send over a bunch of recent reports, news clippings, basically asking for a clearer picture of what's going on with the company. You know, what's happening now, what it might mean going forward.
Okay.
So our plan today is to unpack all that information, pull out the really key insights for you, sort of cut through the noise, and just highlight what actually matters.
Sounds good. So we'll be looking at financials, products.
Yep, recent financials, new product launches, where they fit in the whole semiconductor landscape, what analysts are thinking. Consider this your shortcut to getting up to speed on AMD.
All right, well, let's start with the money side then.
Yeah.
Their recent financial performance. We're talking Q1 2025 here, and the numbers were quite something.
They certainly were. Revenue came in at $7.4 billion. That's a 36% increase compared to the same time last year. Pretty substantial.
And what really drove that, according to these sources?
It looks like the big engine was their data center business. That segment jumped, get this, 57%.
Wow. Yeah, it really shows that, demand for high-performance computing, stuff behind cloud, behind AI, it's just booming. And looking deeper, their gross margin was pretty healthy too, right? Holding at 50%.
Solid number. It tells you they're still making good profit on the chips themselves, even after production costs.
Okay, and then operating income was $806 million, net income $709 million. What about cash flow?
Free cash flow landed at $727 million. That works out to about a 10% margin, which is, quite healthy. Shows they're generating real cash.
And the earnings per share, EPS.
Dairy was actually better than what analysts were expecting, so a positive surprise there.
Okay, so financially, a strong quarter overall. They've also got a fair bit of cash sitting around.
They do. $7.31 billion in cash equivalents, short-term investments, a good cushion.
But there was a point mentioned about debt.
Yes. Total debt is listed at $4.164 billion. And the reports do flag this as an increase compared to, previous periods.
So something to watch?
Definitely something you'd want to keep an eye on, just to see how they're balancing that debt against their growth plans,
Right, how they're funding all this expansion. Okay, so that's the financial snapshot. Now, shifting gears, products. Seems like they're not standing still there either.
Not at all. Just in Q1, they announced the AMD EPYC embedded 905 series processors, and also the AMD Versal AI Edge XQRVE 2302 adaptive SOCs.
Adaptive SOCs. Those are the chips that can kind of reconfigure themselves,
Yeah.
right, for different jobs.
That's the idea. Pretty sophisticated stuff. But honestly, the thing that really jumps out is what's coming next. The MI350 series AI accelerators.
Expected mid-year 2025, the sources say. And this is supposed to be a big leap.
Seems like it. The reports talk about big improvements in memory, both capacity and bandwidth.
Okay, and what does that mean in practice?
Well, they're projecting up to 35 times higher throughput for things like large language model inference compared to the current MI300X.
35 times. That's huge. If they can deliver that, it could really shake things up in the AI chip market.
Absolutely. It could let them handle much bigger AI models, get results faster. It's potentially a game changer for their position in AI.
Interesting. Okay, so new hardware is key. What about partnerships, acquisitions? Are they making moves there?
They are. Big news on the partnership front. A multi-billion-dollar deal with Oracle Cloud Infrastructure.
Oracle, okay.
Yeah, Oracle's going to deploy AI solutions using AMD's MI35X accelerators, presumably related to the MI350 family and their 5th-gen EPYC server processors.
So getting their chips directly into a major cloud provider, that's significant for visibility and adoption.
Exactly. It's a big validation and a potential major channel for their data center and AI tech.
And there was an acquisition mentioned, too.
Yes, they completed the acquisition of a company called ZT Systems.
ZT Systems. What do they do?
They specialize in systems design, particularly for AI solutions. So this looks like a move to beef up their ability to offer more complete integrated AI systems, not just the chips themselves.
Ah, okay. So it fits that strategic direction, moving towards end-to-end solutions. Makes sense.
And Wall Street seems to be noticing all this activity.
How's the sentiment?
Pretty positive, based on these sources. The strong Q1 revenue growth definitely helped. Some analysts have apparently moved AMD into the strong buy category.
And the stock price reflects that.
Well, the report suggests the recent upward trend in the stock is linked to exactly these things. Good financials, exciting product pipeline, especially in AI, and these strategic deals like the Oracle one.
Okay. It's important, though, to place this in the context of the wider market. The AI accelerator market is, well, exploding.
It is. And AMD's MI350 series seems time to try and grab a bigger piece of that pie.
But they're up against some heavy hitters.
Oh, absolutely. NVIDIA is the dominant force right now, especially in GPUs for AI. And then you have Intel still very strong in CPUs, PCs, servers. It's a tough neighborhood.
So what are AMD's advantages here, according to the sources?
The recurring themes seem to be innovation, pushing performance boundaries, and offering that performance at competitive prices. Sort of a high-performance value proposition.
That's been their playbook for a while now, hasn't it?
It has, but there are external pressures too, right?
Yes, the regulatory environment. The sources mentioned recent export controls. How are those impacting AMD?
Apparently, it's affected their inventory and reserves.
Yeah.
And that's actually expected to hit their non-GAAP gross margin forecast for Q2 2025.
So a tangible impact on the financials. That's definitely something for you, the listener, to track. These regulations can shift and have real consequences.
For sure. So summing up the risks and opportunities, on the risk side, you've got these ongoing export controls, potential future regulations.
And the intense competition, obviously.
Right. But on the opportunity side, the AI and data center markets are just huge growth areas. And that MI350 launch, if it delivers, could be a massive tailwind for them.
Okay, let's maybe zoom back out a bit and look at the longer-term financial health picture.
Yeah.
What do the sources say about trends over, say, the last 3-5 years?
Well, the consistent story is strong revenue growth, driven mainly by demand for Ryzen chips and PCs and EPYC in servers, really leaning into high-performance computing.
And valuation metrics, like the PE ratio.
Typically higher than the industry average, the report suggests. That usually means investors expect strong future growth and are willing to pay a premium for it.
Okay. And the debt-to-equity ratio, we mentioned debt went up recently, but overall,
Generally seen as managed reasonably well, though that recent increase is, as we said, worth noting.
how about return on equity, ROE?
Improving, apparently, which suggests profitability is getting better and they're becoming more efficient at using shareholder investments, competitive with peers on that front. One thing to note, AMD doesn't really pay a significant dividend.
Reinvesting for growth, then.
Seems to be the strategy, putting earnings back into R&D, expansion, like that ZT Systems acquisition.
And stock volatility.
Beta, usually higher than the market average, so you can expect potentially bigger price swings up and down compared to the broader market. Okay, what about competitive advantages beyond just product performance, things like patents?
The sources highlight their patent portfolio in both CPU and GPU tech. That's a key asset.
And cost structure.
Seems they achieve some cost leadership through efficient manufacturing, often using partners like TSMC and those strategic partnerships we discussed.
And leadership. Dr. Lisa Su gets mentioned often.
Yes, she's widely credited with orchestrating AMD's turnaround since taking over as CEO in 2014. The focus on innovation, execution, and strategic partnerships really seems to stem from her leadership.
Right. What about other valuation metrics? Price to book.
Similar story to PE, typically higher than the industry average. Again, suggests investors see strong growth prospects baked into the company's value.
Okay, so let's circle back and maybe summarize the key strengths and potential concerns based on all this.
Well, on the potential red flag side, that increase in total debt definitely stands out from the recent reports. Needs context, but it's there.
Agreed. But on the strength side,
A diverse product portfolio across CPUs, GPUs, and now more integrated solutions. And just continued innovation, especially pushing hard into AI and high-performance computing, which are, the hot areas right now.
so looking ahead, what could move the needle for AMD?
Obvious catalysts would be successful launches of new CPUs and GPUs like that MI350. Future earnings reports will also be key, seeing if they maintain this growth momentum.
And the risks remain.
Absolutely. Intense competition isn't going away. And those regulatory uncertainties, particularly around export controls, are still a factor.
So putting it all together, what's the kind of takeaway recommendation from these sources? It seems a bit mixed.
It does. For current investors, the sources seem to suggest a hold might be reasonable, based on the stable financials, the competitive position. They're doing well.
But for someone thinking about getting in now,
It leans towards a potential buy if you really believe in that long-term growth story, especially in AI and data centers, but with a strong dose of caution. Be aware of the market volatility, the competition. It's not a guaranteed win.
right. So ultimately, it comes down to your own perspective and risk tolerance.
Precisely. Considering all this information we've discussed from the listeners' sources, the question for you is, how does this picture of AMD fit with your own investment strategy?
We've certainly covered a lot of ground on AMD today: financials, products, strategy, the market context. Hopefully, this gives you a much clearer view of what's driving the company right now.
And remember, this analysis is based specifically on the reports and news items that were shared with us, giving us this focused perspective.
Which brings us back to that key question for you. How do these developments, these opportunities, these risks align with how you see the semiconductor industry and your own investment goals?
It's crucial to do your own homework, your own further research.
Absolutely. Consider these insights as part of your decision-making process. And hey, if you found this discussion helpful, please do subscribe to the podcast, give us a like, perhaps leave a comment.
We always appreciate hearing your feedback.